Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly, back to do another quick video here. Actually, album of the week. So I want to make sure I kind of catch up on that so I can stay on track. Mr. Billy Creone's Thread, and we're almost halfway through the year and it's still going strong, so that's a good deal. Before I do get into album of the week, I want to actually do a couple things really quick. First of all, Adam, I did get your package, so I want to thank you for that. It did come in the other day, and it's just kind of some cool live DVDs that he threw in here for me. Stevie Nicks, Joan Jett, Billy Idol, Donna Summer, Prince. So of course, all artists that I love to death. So it did arrive, man. Thank you very, very much for taking the time to make those and send them over. And I'm definitely looking forward to checking them out. Got your note as well, too. So I appreciate that. Also, I don't know if any of you have seen it yet or not, but I'm sure most of you know Sean. Username Sean0612, I believe. And I don't know if you've seen it, but you know, he has that really, really cool series that he does called Record Collector Profiles, where he just does, like, you know, a collector, he asks questions, and then he like edits this video and makes this nice little just kind of profile thing of him. And it's black and white and everything. It's really, really cool. And it was so cool that I had been like almost begging him forever, just like, dude, I would love to do that because I love when he does those episodes. It's so good. Especially even with the editing and everything he does. It's really, really cool. So anyway, he gave me the honor of doing that. So if you guys get a chance, go check it out because I think he did a really good job on it. I had so much fun doing it. But if you just, again, go to his channel, Sean0612, and the series is called Record Collector Profiles. I think I'm number 9 or something like that. Record Collectors Profile number 9. But there's a bunch of people on there that you'll definitely want to check out. There's some really, really cool stuff. You know, he has people from all over the country, all over the world, females, males, so kind of like just a great mixture of just all the different type of personalities out there that and from different areas of the world that collect records. So definitely go check that out. As a matter of fact, I'll try to put a link at the bottom of this video if I can. But so again, thank you, Sean, for that, and again, Adam, thank you for the VCLT there. And now my album of the week, which is one I'm sure many of you are very familiar with, whether you love it or hate it, you're probably very familiar with it. And you know, went a little more, I guess, harder this week, but I went with Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood as album of the week. You know, as common a record as this is, I think at some point in time it has to be injected into the album of the week conversation, just because I don't know, there really was a lot of groundbreaking things about this album. The biggest thing I like about it, I mean, the songs of course are great, but in my opinion, this was kind of the peak of Motley Crue. I kind of felt, you know, they started kind of on a high note, and then, you know, Theater of Pain was kind of, you know, so-so for me. It was a good album, but it's not necessarily the Motley Crue sound that I like the most. So that was kind of a downturn for me, and then, you know, Girls came along, and that was a little more fun, a little more, you know, partying or whatever. But I think kind of all that came together, more of their heavier side and their playful, you know, kind of party, sexcapade side, kind of all came together on Dr. Feelgood. It was produced by Bob Rock, which, you know, you say that name sometimes and it either draws complete anger or complete love from most people. You know, because everyone kind of claims he was the one that screwed up Metallica quite a bit, but, you know, a big part of why Metallica chose Bob Rock for the Black Album was because of his work on Dr. Feelgood. Just because the album is just, it's very, very heavy in my opinion, you know, and not heavy as in, you know, like you know, dark metal or black metal type heavy, you know, not on those lines, but heavy is like, there's just this thickness to the album and the way that he produced it that I think it's just fantastic, especially for this genre. And Motley Crue, I think, was the perfect group to kind of mesh with Bob Rock, because Motley Crue was one of those groups that they were considered part of the hair metal, 80s hair metal thing. But when you really get down to it, they weren't quite as hair as the actual hair metal bands. I mean, sometimes they went a little more, kind of southern rockish with a metal kind of element thrown in. And again, that may sound weird, but if you go back and really listen and pay attention to their songs, they really were a lot more rock / southern rock with bringing in these metal elements into it. And then, of course, they dressed glam and everything else, all the makeup and so forth. So that's why I think they got really put into that, hair metal category. But they really did learn how to play both sides of the fence very well. How can we get all the perks of video rotation, all the perks of, posters and buttons, and, have all the women falling all over us, and have the guys be cool with us, and just like all the things that came with the mainstream of hair metal, but yet we can still stay kind of heavy and kind of, rock and roll and, put out songs like Kickstart My Heart and Dr. Feelgood. They really did play both sides of the line really well. And again, I think this album is like the pinnacle of that. So again, I think Bob Rock did a fantastic job on it. A lot of great songs on here. Of course, my favorite being Dr. Feelgood. Rattlesnake Shake's pretty cool. And I think Kickstart My Heart is probably the ultimate track on here. Then, of course, you have the ballad Without You, and that was really kind of the formula. I remember Dean Snyder talking about that back in the day. That was kind of the formula of the day. If you're going to be a hair band, you had to have, some type of mainstream hair metal hit, and you had to follow it up with a ballad. That was just like the ultimate formula for success back in the day. And, Without You was definitely their one on here. Same Old Situation. Not very fond of that song, but I do acknowledge the hit that it was. And Don't Go Away Mad, kind of the same thing. Not one that, I really, really dug that much. But at the same time, I acknowledge that it was a good track. But again, I think when you get down to it, that really kind of shows how they cross both those paths, because most guys would have no problem really getting into Dr. Feelgood and Kickstart My Heart. I mean, I'm stereotyping here, of course, but or gender typing, but would have no problem, really embracing Dr. Feelgood and Kickstart My Heart. I mean, those are good, punching hard, in-your-face tracks. But at the same time, how many women can they pull into their category? Again, gender typing here, but how many women of the day could they pull into them with songs like Without You, Same Old Situation, and Don't Go Away Mad? I mean, it was just that perfect combination of straddling all those lines, and they just totally nailed it on this album. Which again, I think this was 1989 or whatever. So I'm not going to do a needle drop on this one, because I'm sure most of you, even if you, as like I said before, if you don't like Motley Crue, you're familiar with most of the songs I just mentioned there. But definitely an album worth having. Great album artwork. Love the color of the album. I mean, it's one that definitely stands out when you're flipping through your stacks. And it's certainly an album that everyone should have in their collection. So, Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. Go check it out. Alright, thanks VC. As always, we will talk to you soon. This actually is the album of the week that catches me up for last week. So I'm going to do one more today or tomorrow, and I should be right back on track. So, as always, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Always a pleasure chatting with you. And I got to go get ready for work, so I will talk to you later. All right, take care.